You have a brilliant idea for a new text. You have finally found a way to frame an issue that you're an expert on, or you have come up with a new character or a new story premise. You feel amazing for one glorious second, and then your high spirits leave you. You've had great ideas before, after all, and none of them have really amounted to anything. You've never been able to truly do justice to your ideas on paper. So what is different now? This idea is not going to go anywhere either, is it? Well, what is different now is that this time you have me in your corner. I am Susanne, I'm an ADHD writing coach, and I have helped hundreds of ADHD writers just like you to pursue and achieve their writing goals with joy and with confidence. In this video, I will share with you the 5 reasons why you've never been able to transfer your brilliant ideas onto the page. And if you stick around till the end, I will share with you the one big problem that underlies all these reasons. And if we can really start tackling that big problem first, then I think that the sky is the limit for you. You will never have to give up on a writing project ever again. As is my habit, I will also share actionable tips and strategies throughout this video to help you overcome these 5 reasons that are now keeping you from transferring your brilliant ideas to the page. So let's dive in. The first reason why your brilliant ideas never make it to the page is that you might fear even getting started. Honestly, you really have to let go of this fear that you will never be able to do your ideas justice. This, my friend, is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's only getting in your way. As long as you keep believing that you cannot do this idea justice, you are absolutely right. But if you manage to let go of it and move on despite this fear, there's no limit to what you can do. You might think that someone else would be able to do this better than you, but honestly, no one else has had this idea. You are the one who came up with it, and it's up to you to do something with it. So, get to it. The second reason why you cannot transfer your brilliant ideas onto the page is that you're too concerned with perfect sentences. You know what will help you write the next sentence? Finishing this one. If you keep getting stuck on writing the perfect first sentence, you will never get farther than that. I have worked with people who have been rewriting the first page of their text for weeks, months, and years. And those people are not any happier than you are right now. So what is important is that you actually move past that first sentence. And the way that you can move past this is with the concept of the first draft. Now, a lot of us ADHDers have gotten in the habit of finishing projects right before the deadline. And that means that our first drafts were always our final drafts. But you can change that. If you accept that after the first draft, there can be other drafts, there's not so much pressure anymore on writing that perfect first sentence. What you can do is you can write a first draft that contains all the ideas, all the thoughts that you need to incorporate in this text, and then only make it sound good afterwards. That is how the concept of first draft can really help you move forward. And it can help you finally get these brilliant ideas onto the page. The third reason why your brilliant ideas never make it to the page is that you're using the wrong modality. That sounds quite complicated, but it really doesn't have to be. One thing a lot of my clients tell me is, I wish it was as easy to write as it is to tell you about my idea. And it can be, as long as we start expanding our definition of what writing actually is, as long as we start thinking about writing in a different way. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, if this is difficult for me, if writing is difficult for me, what is something that I am good at? If you're a smooth talker, then maybe you can use voice-to-text software or transcription software to actually write your first draft using your voice rather than a keyboard or a pen. I worked with a client who wrote a novel in a month by walking into the forest, going on long walks in which she dictated her book into her phone. That is how she wrote the first draft, and when she got home, all she needed to do was edit what she had already written by speaking it into her phone. If speaking comes naturally to you, there's no rule that says that you have to write everything using a keyboard or a pen. If you are good at making PowerPoint presentations, then you can start using PowerPoint to really start flashing out, developing and outlining your text in PowerPoint. You can make it as pretty, as colorful as you like, if that helps you develop your ideas more. And if you do that in PowerPoint, then maybe writing the text will become a lot easier because you've already figured out what pieces you need to include and in what order. There's no rule that says that you cannot use PowerPoint to start writing your text. And the same is true for collaging. If you love collaging, there's no reason why you can't use collage to figure out the structure of your text, or to think through what the main point is going to be, or the effect that your text is going to have on either your life or the world. I have worked with clients who have used all of these modalities and more to make the writing process not only easier, but also more fun for themselves. And yes, I do still consider them real writers. Speaking of which, make sure that you stay until the end of this video, where I'll tell you one underlying problem that I think all these 4 reasons are built on. Because if we can start tackling that, then you will never run into any problems again. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but the writing process will become a lot easier for you. The 4th reason why you are not getting your brilliant ideas down on the page is that you are relying on novelty as your only source of motivation. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of using novelty as a source of motivation. Our ADHD brains love novelty. We are novelty seekers. But if it is your only form of motivation, then you're going to be jumping from idea to idea and never really stick with a project long enough to finish it. And that can really do a big number on your self-esteem. Now, if you want to learn more about other sources of motivation that you can use to keep yourself going when the novelty runs out, make sure to check out this video next, where I talk about the 4 main sources of motivation when you have ADHD and how to use them to finish your writing projects. The 5th reason is a little bit different. I know what you're thinking. You think that a writer sits at their desk and has a do not disturb sign on their locked door. A writer writes by themselves, right? They are isolated, they are alone. They are the ones who have to do the work, and no one can do it for them. That is what a real writer is. But I think that this belief is actually getting in your way. And it's not true. A lot of writers work closely alongside their editors or their coaches, or even hire ghostwriters. There's so many ways to get a text out. And most of them are not solitary. Now, us ADHDers are motivated by accountability. We are motivated when someone sits beside us, someone checks in with us, someone asks us how things are going and whether we're still on track to finish this project. And if you deny yourself this accountability by another person, it's going to be a lot harder to keep going when the going gets rough. 9 out of 10 times the ADHD writers I work with are not giving themselves the accountability that they need to keep going and finish their texts. If you want to make sure that your brilliant idea actually finds its way to the page, maybe it's time to join a writing course or hire a writing coach. I'm available if you're looking for one. You might want to find an accountability buddy, a friend who also wants to write, so that you can co-work together in a body doubling session, for example. All of these are different ways to bring accountability into the writing process and make the writing process so much easier for yourself. You can do this. It is just that your standards and this idea of the ideal writer are getting in your way. Now, I have worked with hundreds of writers over the past 5 years, and honestly, I have never found that person. I have never met them because I don't think they exist. This ideal that you're measuring yourself against, this ideal that constantly makes you feel like you're not a real writer, doesn't exist. In October 2025, I will be bringing together 10 to 15 speakers who will be professors, coaches, activists, who have all written their own texts with ADHD. Each of these speakers will talk about one aspect of the writing process with ADHD, about their own challenges, how they've overcome them. It's going to be a beautiful experience where ADHD writers can finally come together for the first time ever. At basecamptobrilliance.com, you will find all the information such as speakers, our complete lineup, and anything else you might wonder about. So make sure to check it out. I've put the link in the description below. And in the meantime, if you want to become the best ADHD writer that you can be, make sure to check out one of these videos next. Talk to you soon.